Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. Here's a look at our market leading stocks via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. A little bit of a sell side condition, but certainly not a dramatic one here on the NASDAQ patch. We're down a bit in volume today with just a couple of standouts. We've got pretty good volume in Alibaba ahead of the earnings coming out this evening, and also some pretty decent volume in Amgen. Amgen followed through to the downside to a degree from Friday's break, so be sure to take a look at that chart. A couple of contra candles here, but no downside CPS is set up. The financial patch, a little bit more aggressive to the downside, but again here, there's not a lot of volume. The only thing that's trading better than typical volume is the shares of ICE. Nothing else even has a deviation either way in this particular sector. Moving on to the energy names, a lot of weakness here. Again, we saw crude break $79 for the first time on this move, and we're seeing some downside moves here, but no signals. See a lot of open close deviations and quite a few VWAP deviations. These are just kind of dropping on not a lot of volume at this point. I wouldn't expect that the volume is going to pick up again until these start hitting new lows again, which are still a ways away. General is a little different story than the NASDAQ patch. These are better to buy. The market was definitely bifurcated today with strength and relative weakness in the same market, depending on which index you're looking at. Seeing a couple of upside CPSs here, and also a fair amount of contra candles to the upside. The only one sticking out with the sell signal so far is Verizon. Again, same theme here. We're generally down on volume with not a lot of deviations here either way. The only one that's a little bit close is Caterpillar, which is pretty weak again today. John Deere is also fairly weak as well. Moving on to the housing names, not where the action is today. We'll get a little more housing data coming tomorrow. Maybe that'll move the needle. Home Depot is fairly weak on some decent volume. That might be the one to watch tomorrow. On the downside, on the upside, MDR today is showing the best relative strength. In the transportation patch, we've got a contra candle and FDX to the upside, but not a lot of volume there. And finally, the commodities. Again, a lot of the commodities were weak. Well, the dollar was strong again, putting pressure on commodities in general. But there's some two-way trade today. Silver, wheat, and SLW's got a pretty decent close above the day's open. FCX 3% below the day's open, which is pretty notable. And potash is also very, very weak today. Newmont Mining following through with volume, as is Double G, and both of those below the day's open after both of them having some a pretty good bounce off of the day's low on Friday. So still some work to be done there, and should be some good tradable energy again for the next few sessions, hopefully. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.